Good evening everyone, how's it going? I hope we're keeping well and welcome back to the channel. Gameweek 21 is here. Of course I should have scrolled down first before starting and get that sorted, but here we are. Gameweek 21 is here. Hope everybody is keeping well on this Tuesday evening. I'm just after noticing, unfortunately, I'm going to have to change this 49k to 137k. As bad enough as it was last week, the YouTube stream is doing me dirty there, but it is changed, yeah. The less said the better out last week. What a terrible game week we had last week. 49k, 137k overall. Need to make sure it's a green hour this week. No Gabriel, no Thiago, no Declan Rice. Yeah, set us up for failure last week. It was a topsy-turvy game, to be honest with you. Anthony Gordon got in his offside goal. Could have done with that goal with Wilson that subbed in for Ekitike, and he scored at least. But yeah, no, it was a poor game week last week. Forget about that. Let's move ahead and look towards Gameweek 21. Hope everybody is keeping well. Anyway, get those likes in on stream if you haven't done so already. And yeah, do let us know who you're watching from in the world. And if you are watching and you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? Head on down there, click subscribe on the channel. We're on the road to 9k subs. Fingers crossed we can get to 10k this season. Right then, let's go through the chat. We've Michael in the chat, Elohim, Dawn, Sakiba Singh, get those likes up, of course, get those going. Craig Ward in the chat, Treslin Pillay, as always, good to see you again, bro. Onspro as well, good to see you, man. Jovial, good to see you back, man. Just ate a kilo of spaghetti bolognese, can't make any decisions just yet. I'm here to help you, at least, good man. And we've got Archie and Annie Cade in the chat also. Right, we've a lot to get through on... First off on the Patreon, first off on the YouTube channel then as well, and I need to sort out my own team myself. But right, hopefully you can hear me all good. I think we're all good to go, and yeah, grand, right, good stuff. 52 in the chat, which is great to see already. Keep those likes coming in on the channel. We've Paul Beats, a member of the channel here, with his lovely little red icon emoji of FPL era. What are you saying, Paul? Sent my team on Twitter, 5 free transfers, 1 million in the bank. What am I thinking? Let's get Paul up right here. We need to prioritise him because he's a member. Good man, Paul. Right, what are we saying? We have Raya, Virgil, O'Reilly, Gahey, Mukalele, Bruno Fernandes, who's flagged, Wilson, Enzo, Saka, Foden, Haaland, Thiago, and Mark Guy on the bench, I'm assuming. 5 free transfers. Thinking Van Dijk to Gabriel, Bruno Fernandes to Cunha. Can you do Van Dijk to Gabriel in one move? You probably can. Yeah, looking at that there. I think I'd look at Virgil to Gabriel, Paul, and then I don't think you should get rid of Bruno Fernandes just yet. You'll want him if he doesn't start this week. There's a chance he plays this week, but if he doesn't start this week, he'll surely play next week. So Bruno Fernandes is priority over Cunha, so I don't think I'll be doing that transfer. Virgil to Gabriel is fine, and then you were playing Raya, Gabriel, O'Reilly, Mukalele, Bruno, Wilson, Enzo, Saka, Foden, 3-5-2. Go with that, man. That's what I'll be doing. Just one transfer of Virgil to Gabriel. You've no Arsenal defender after Raya. You've Raya in goals, but I think I'll be going Virgil to Gabriel there. Looking at my own team then as well, just for a little insight. My Patreon members know what I'm doing or what I'm thinking about doing already. But I'm probably looking at going Timber to Gabriel. As much of a sideways move that is, even though I've Ekitike up front, I'm 50-50. I'm struggling this week, to be honest with you. Gabriel, surely he can't score 3 game weeks in a row, but Gabriel is a DEFCON monster. I know Timber didn't get his clean sheet thanks to Gabriel last week, but he did get his DEFCON finally. But since I've owned Timber, I think he's only got DEFCON since last week, so I don't think I want to keep Timber long term. Gabriel is the priority. It's not ideal using one free transfer when I'm probably should be looking to save the transfer this week and keep Timber. But it's just Gabriel, there's a chance he could get another return. How bad Liverpool have been defending from set pieces, so maybe I might do that move. It's either keep Timber or go to Timber and Gabriel and just have Ekitike because I want Ekitike for the Burnley game. That's my thoughts anyway. Let's go through the chat here. What are we saying? Sakib, Foden to Cherky and Esteve the 4.5 million under defender, or just do Foden move and roll into Gameweek 22 with 5 free transfers, open to defensive suggestions. Foden to Cherky isn't too bad at all. If you have 5 free transfers, you're at that luxury where you can make that transfer, so I think I probably would do that. I'm looking at Cherky, he's getting DEFCON the last couple of weeks also. I think I probably would do that over Foden, but there's every chance Foden can do well any week. As we all know, he goes on hot streaks of form. But I probably would do that to Cherky and probably roll the rest of the ones. There's not much out of the 4.5 million defenders. You have Dorgu. I wouldn't even go near Dorgu. At least you should be playing right wing against Burnley this week, and I need a bad return off him. I thought about a gamble on Castellanos hitting the ground running for West Ham tonight, 5.5 million striker. In around that price point, Paul, Calvert-Lewin is probably your best shout, but Newcastle have been solid. Let's see what I have in the bank then. If you go Virgil to instead of Guy, is it? I wouldn't be taking out right. So if you did you're thinking about just going Guy to him there, but you can't even afford that. Virgil to Gabriel leaves you 5.5 for a Guy transfer. Krupi Jr. is probably who'll be looking for. Maybe not this week, thereafter when Semenyo's gone. Krupi is a good shout there then as well. Right then, Michael. Yes, we'll get to you in 1 second, Michael. Do you reckon Ekatike plays? Niall might have to start him in case and bench Wilson. Do you reckon Ekatike plays? To be honest with you, I don't think he does, but it is Arsenal. If he's anywhere fit at all, he will start. But I don't think I'm going to take him out this week. It's either Timber to Gabriel or Timber to Gabriel or just keep Timber. But for now, I'm leaning towards Gabriel in. We'll see where we end up before the deadline. Right, let's get Michael's team up on chat here. What are we saying, Michael? A few new subs there then as well, which is great to see. So Michael's sitting at 26k. Ekatike, Haaland, Wilson, Saka, Sabasai, Foden, Shirky, Dorgu, Timber, Virgil. You don't have enough for Timber to Gabriel, so you can't do that transfer. Not mad on Sabasai. Not much of options at that price point anyway, but do you just roll, Michael? You have 3 transfers. Raya, Virgil, Timber, Dorgu this week, or you even bench Virgil and go Keane, Timber, Dorgu, only because you can't get to Gabriel. Shirky, Foden, Sabasai, Saka, Wilson, Haaland and Ekatike, and you have Anderson on the bench if it needs to be. I probably would roll there, Michael. It's not ideal. I know you've got 3 free transfers, but the fact you can't get Gabriel in a few moves, I'd leave it at that. Let me know if that's alright, Mike. And I appreciate that. Good man. What's your final team and bench? This is what we're looking at now. As I said, I'm making a decision if I go Timber to Gabriel or leave Timber in the team. Don't mind bringing in Gabriel this week. Liverpool are massive, Mr. Donald. They are massive flops at the moment. Would you switch in Rice instead of Saka? Not for free, no. I think, yeah, just on that then as well, there's a potential double game week in 26 for Arsenal and is it Wolves? They're playing Wolves anyway. There's a potential double game. Yeah, it is. Arsenal and Wolves. If Arsenal beat Chelsea, if Arsenal, where does it say? Double game likely in the League Cup. Yeah, right. Newcastle, Sunderland, Everton, and Chelsea have a chance to, depending on Newcastle plus Chelsea finishing top 8 in Champions League. So potential double game week 26 for Arsenal. Likelihood depends on the League Cup semis. I'd be set. Yeah, okay, all right. So if it all depends on the League Cup semi-finals. There's a chance Arsenal and Wolves get a double game week in 26. So I want to keep my Arsenal players for that. I'm not mad on Gahey to Dorgu for next week. Paul, I don't think I'd be doing that Dorgu transfer in this week. No, leave it off. He might do well this week, but I think that was a mistake bringing in Dorgu. But I thought he'd get a clean sheet. He was looking well for a clean sheet. He was playing very attacking at least, but sure, look, I need something off him for this Burnley game. He's going to rot on my bench for the next while, and that's not ideal. Then I've Dorgu and Esteve, so it'll be Timber, potentially Gabriel, Virgil and Mukalele on the bench then as well. What's your last man standing pick? Saw Doctor went for Newcastle. Sick of fantasy. Dara Heskin in the chat. Keep Mount or Ekatike. First off, congrats to Dara Heskin who got engaged there during the week. Shout out to himself and Tara. Good man Dara for tuning in. Sick of fantasy already. Keep Mount or Ekatike. When you've got Mason Mount in your team, I can see why can see why you're getting sick of fantasy. But sure, look, you've got a lovely fiance. But Mount or Ekatike, I think it's going to be Ekatike out of those probably. Let me see what the latest update was on Mount while we're looking at that. And William in the chat then. William, let's get straight to you then as well. Whom do you start, Shirky or Foden? Start the 2. Sure, do you start the 2? Right, what are we looking up there? Mason Mount, any updates on him? He has been injured, alright. Minter replacement, Tavernier and Mane at Wolves. Tavernier could be on penalties with Kluivert out. Here's the quotes on Mount. I think Mason and Bruno are pushing the play against Leeds. The decision was that they weren't quite ready. They've trained, so they should be back in the squad, but they'll be on managed minutes as well and restricted minutes. So that probably means Mount isn't going to start against Burnley, considering it is only Burnley. Seba with the £4.99 donation. Really appreciate that, man. In draft, and have Van Dijk and Saliba. Should I swap either for Cucurella? Have Garner. Should I swap him for Ndai? Any other good differential defenders? When Munoz is back from AFCON, he's going to be a nice differential. I'm assuming a lot of people have got, or if you are playing draft, I'm assuming the person that owned Muniz got rid of him. But have Van Dijk and Saliba, should I swap either for Cucurella? I don't think so this week. Fulham can do well against Chelsea. Long-term move, if Rosenier comes into that Chelsea team, which he should be, it looks like Cucurella is going to be playing very high up the field. I was reading a few threads on Twitter with how Chelsea are going to line up. Long-term, maybe give Virgil the Burnley game at least, and then if you can afford, or if he's not gone by then, maybe Virgil the Cucurella then. That's what we're saying there. Probably would keep Saliba if he's on your Arsenal defender. If you don't have Raya, Gabriel or Timber, if them players are gone already, maybe leave off that and just keep Saliba in the team if you need an Arsenal defender. Mount to Bruno, so Ekatika to Tara. Cheers, lad. Good man, Dara. Hope you're keeping well, man. Right then, picture sent in the Discord from William. Let's keep. We've a lot of comments to get through here anyway. Dave lad 86. All right, lad. Hope all's good. I'm thinking Raya, Foden, Virgil, to Donnarumma, Gabriel, and Shirky. Good or bad call? All for free. Not the worst. Gabriel and Shirky are all good there. Not sure on Donnarumma now with Ruben and Vardy all out of that City lineup, so maybe you go Pickford over Donnarumma. Maybe that's a route you can go there. 2 free transfers, right, William? Here we go. You've got your Christmas tree formation: Keane, Gabriel, Dorgu, Mukiele. Good defence there. Gordon, Saka, Cunha, Foden, Wilson, Haaland captain. Ekatike, to be honest with you, I'd probably do the same thing there and bench Ekatike considering your team there. So all good there, William. You can roll that. You're doing very well this season. 2 free transfers, 0.9 million in the bank. Roll there. I don't think I play Ekatike on it over any of those players. So all good there, William. Let me know if you're all good with that. Right, a lot of questions to get through here, so let's keep this going. Down to 739 from 420. That's a humble brag there. Need help from the best FPL creator. There's a little humble brag for myself. Appreciate that. 2 free transfers: Kelleher to Dubravka, Timber, Van Dijk, Dorgu, O'Reilly, Goodmunson, Saka, Foden, Wilson, Anderson, Cunha, Haaland, Thiago, Ekatike up front. So Saka, Foden, Wilson, Cunha, Anderson. You could nearly even play Anderson over Ekatike. Hope for some DEFCON points. Maybe I'd go with that. 3-5-2. You can nearly even roll your transfer. Kelleher, Timber, Van Dijk, Dorgu. If you have money available, I'm probably going to hint it, or probably suggest it, because I'm probably hinting at doing it. Timber to Gabriel is what I'd be going there. 3-5-2, 420k. Sorry, 400 to 739 overall is outrageous going. I hope it's not 739,000, but I don't think it is. You're absolutely flying. D. McDonald, evening mate. Hope you're keeping well. Pickford, Timber, Gabriel, Keane, Bruno Guimaraes, Rice, Foden, Rodgers, Watkins, Haaland, Thiago. Subs to Dubravka, Cash, Mukiele. Can you play Mukiele over any of those? Probably not. No. Stash as well. I'll probably move Mukiele first sub. Who have Villa playing though? They're playing Crystal Palace, aren't they? So maybe, just maybe move he is, isn't he, away? Yeah, maybe Mukiele first sub. Mukiele is away though. Not ideal, right? Leave it at that anyway. Probably would do, yeah. What do you think about selling Ekatike to Bone? No, leave that off. What would you swap Rice for Saka, Dooley? Don't think I would. Yeah, we got through that, Michael. Don't mind bringing in Gabriel this week. Would you switch in Rice instead of Saka? I don't think I would. Do you reckon Ekatike plays? I'm going to start him, but I don't think he does. I have Van Dijk to come in for him if needs be. Dropped Thiago for Sesko last week. Cunha, Casemiro saved me once again. Ons, bro. Casemiro is ticking along lovely for you last week. Didn't he get 3 bonus points last week? Crazy stuff from Casemiro. And probably he's staying rightly under the radar with his suspensions, but he's every time I'm watching United keep a close eye on FPL, he's getting DEFCON for days. Wilson, Ekatike, Anderson start 2. Probably Wilson and Anderson out of those. If it's the Nottingham Forest, Anderson, go with that. Right, let's get through these questions. Pubble Skull, hope you're keeping well. Mono, on an early wildcard. If you can at all, cancel that wildcard. I wouldn't be wildcarding. Sanchez, Nunez, Gabriel, Thiaw, Saka, Rice, Shirky, Bruno Guimaraes, Enzo, Haaland captain, Watkins, benches, Dubravka, Van de Ven, Krupi. I like Krupi at least. Alderete, 0.3 thoughts. I'm happy. You need some Newcastle lads for the next couple anyway. You have Tau, you have Gordon. Do you even have Gordon? No, you have Bruno G. Fair enough. You need some Chelsea lads. You've got Sanchez. As long as you have a route to Palmer if need, or even Bruno Fernandes. But you have Enzo. That's fine. To be honest, it's not bad at all. But only thing I will say is when Bruno's back from injury, you'll want Bruno Fernandes. So have a plan in place. Whether that's doing Saka to Bruno Fernandes, fair enough. I was going to say go Palmer, but you've got Enzo in the team there. So look, you might be all right there. Excuse me. Right, Dooley, would Fofana be a good pick considering the amount of clean sheets Chelsea have? cheap at 4.4 million. Sanchez, if even, is only safe one in that defence. He's not even. Probably it's only Chalobah I'd be looking at there. But with Fofana, let's get him up here. Did he even play against City? I don't think he did. It was Achapom. Or was it Fofana? No. So it's a bit of a risk there, to be honest with you. So no, I don't think I would. Chelsea defence is a bit of a minefield there, to be honest with you. I'm worried Bruno doesn't start tonight, and I have on the bench is Gahey and Guy. Right, sorry Paul. Let's get back to you here about Bruno. Look, if you can do Bruno to Cunha and then back to Cunha, it's a bit back to Bruno, it's a bit of a waste of a transfer, but probably would still go for it. Excuse me. Let's get Paul's team back up here. Yeah, you have 5 free transfers anyway. Virgil to Gabriel, Bruno to Cunha, then just back to Bruno then after that. You're using 2 free transfers, but look, you want Gabriel in this week, and you'll want Bruno back, so you as well burn one and then have it back after that. So look, I don't mind it at all. Go for that if you can. Right, 10 to 6. Let's keep this going. Don't forget the deadline is at 6:30, so make sure you have your teams locked in then as well. We're nearly on 40 likes, which is great to see, and we've got a few new subs since we started off. So if you are watching and you haven't subscribed, please do head on down there, click subscribe. We are on the road to 9k subs, then we can worry about 10k. But I appreciate everyone who's subscribed so far this stream. Hussam, should I do this 2 transfers, Virgil van Dijk to Keane, Min to the Palmer? Nothing wrong with that, to be honest with you. Go for it. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Are you going to jump on the Ollie at the wheel bandwagon next week? I'll be hoping to see him as right. Let's see how Darren Fletcher does. To be fair, he was doing well with the underage team, so it's good to see him get a chance against Burnley, and we badly need 3 points against Burnley. That goes without saying, and I badly need an attack and return, or at least a clean sheet from Dorgu this week after bringing him in for a hit last week. So let's see how that goes. Own me and High Nile, best Raya replacement, and who should I bring in next game before the deadline or next game? Should I bring him in before the deadline or next game week? If you can get to Pickford, go for Pickford. That's all I'd say. Owen, is Gabriel essential? Do you think of Timber, Raya, and Saka already? Would have to take a -4 to get rid of Raya to Verbruggen and Lacroix to Gabriel. If you can do Timber to Gabriel for free, what I'm considering, maybe do that. I think with Raya, it's not ideal. He is guaranteed to start at least if they do get that double game week, but I'd well prefer Timber over Gabriel. I just think I'd well prefer Gabriel over Timber, as what I was meant to say. With Gabriel, every set piece Arsenal get, they're looking for Gabriel, so he's a cheat code in FPL. I should have got him last week, I didn't. Don't know if I get him this week with the Liverpool game. If it was any other game apart from Liverpool, I would be going for. I do think Liverpool will get one, but maybe I just go and get Gabriel in, because he could easily get an attack and return, whether that's a goal or assist. How good of a fantasy asset he is. Right, Henry, Donnarumma, Timber, Gabriel, Dorgu, Xhaka, Wilson, Saka, Rodgers, Foden, Ekatika, Haaland, benches, Dubravka, Mukulele, Anderson. 1 transfer, 1 million in the bank. Donnarumma, Timber, Gabriel, Dorgu, all good there in the fence. Xhaka, Wilson, Saka, Rodgers, Foden, Ekatika, Haaland. I'd roll that transfer. You already have Gabriel, so leave it at that. What's my best 11? We'll get into my team shortly. Would you do Gahey plus Raya to Thiaw plus Kelleher, 2 free transfers, and bring Gabriel? Game22. Gahey, Raya, Thiaw plus Kelleher. Not the worst, but I wouldn't be surprised if Sunderland score this week. They looked good during the weekend. They're looking good all season. So I'm not sure I'm bringing in Kelleher for Raya. If I was looking for a replacement, it'd probably be Sanchez for a route into that Chelsea defence. But Sanchez is a slight doubt for this week, so maybe thereafter. So maybe hold it off until the week after next. Thoughts on going Saka captain? I don't think I would. If he's not guaranteed penalties, it has to be Haaland. No return for Haaland in the last 4 games is crazy. It's in the last 3 games. So surely he gets his return this week. So I'd be going Haaland captain for sure. Are you watching the AFCON, Saw Doctor? I'm not, unfortunately not. Alright, Paul, or Gahey to Hall for the bench in case Bruno doesn't start. Gahey to Hall, go with that. Hall in is a good show, but to be honest with you, you'd nearly want Hall for the Leeds game. So if you're bringing in Hall, I'd be starting him. If not, looking at your team here, so then you'd have Gabriel O'Reilly. We'll say Hall, Mukulele, 4-4-2. Then are you benching Wilson? Probably not. So I think probably just do the Bruno to Cunha, and then Cunha back to Bruno next week. It's not ideal, but I'll probably just go for it. Mo Ville in the chat. Mo, hope you're keeping well, man. Should I play Van de Ven, Senesi over Ekitike? I think you probably just play Ekitike and hope he starts. It's not ideal, but if he's anyway fit at all, it's Arsenal. Liverpool will be looking for those 3 points later on in the season if there's any chance of winning the league. So yeah, I'd start Ekitike and hope he starts. If not, make sure you have cover on your bench, as you're saying there. Tarek, hi mate, transferred out Virgil van Dijk, Van Hecken, Wilson, De Gabriel, Mukiele and Garner. What do you think? 2 free transfers remaining and 0.3 in the bank. Nothing wrong with those. Gabriel, Mukiele and Garner are good options this week anyway, so look at nothing wrong with those transfers. Thoughts on going Saka captain? I don't think so. I'm going to put a poll going in the chat here. Let's see what you think. Would you do Timber to Gabriel for free? I think I have a decision made up in my head, but I just want to see what the chat is saying then as well. Keep the likes coming in on the chat if you haven't done so already. We're nearly on 50 likes, which is great to see. And if you are watching and you haven't subscribed, please do consider clicking subscribe on the channel. Even if you have your mother's or sister's account, go down there, click subscribe. Your support is very much appreciated. Lafay are keen to start the Everton defender. Start Szoboszlai, Ekitike or Anderson. Szoboszlai, but he's I'm glad I got rid of him last week. Watching that Fulham game, he's been so poor over the last couple of weeks. I had him in my team, so I can say that then as well. It was very much the wrong decision going Szoboszlai in. I'm just glad to have him gone there. Shash, start 2 between Anderson, Nottingham Forest, Wilson, Fulham and Krupa Jr. What do you suggest? Anderson and Wilson. Krupa Jr. from next week when Semenyo's gone. But Krupa Jr. could be a game breaker at that price. He's been doing well all season off the bench and whatnot at that price. I think he does well, especially with Semenyo gone. Clivert injured then as well, so he could be one to look for, especially as a marquee replacement if I downgrade the likes of a Saka to Rice next week, maybe, or if I downgrade a goalkeeper. Say for example, if I did Raya to Sanchez, I can do Marquis to Krupa Jr. Then that's a little idea maybe I'm brewing. Right. Ekitike, Thiago, Minta to Gordon. Do you think I'll take Ekitike out or Saka? Keep Ekitike if you can. You'll want for Burnley. Minta to Gordon. Just right. A lot of patron messages to get back to them as well, but we'll jump back and forth between the two. Who to start? Gordon, Rogers, Timber. Already have Gabriel or Dorgu. Gordon, Rogers, Timber or Dorgu. You have to start all of them, Hamid. Gordon, Rogers, Timber. Wow. Who else are you benching, Hamid? Send in your bench. You have to start all of those. Pepperoni or ham and pineapple? Pepperoni, Jovial. Pepperoni, definitely. Gordon, captain or go safe with Haaland. I'll be hoping Gordon gets a nice haul. He's a nice little differential in around the 5%, 6%, isn't he? 6% now. Leeds and Wolves over the next 2. Want him in those for those 2 game weeks. Then I'm shipping him out. He's got an assist since I brought him in 2 weeks ago. Didn't get anything at the weekend. Should have got a goal, just offside. And I'll as sad as it sounds, I was celebrating that Gordon goal and how bad things were going at the weekend, and then only for it to be ruled out. That was terrible. FPL thoughts on this lineup? Not much I can do without using a transfer. Van Dijk, my best sub. Last couple of weeks I've struggled for points. I'm coming caught up a lot in my leagues. Putting a lot of faith in Van Dijk and Ekitike. Are you sure to keep them? We'll want them for Burnley. Right, just going to double check. The deadline is 6:30, which it is. Because it is 3 minutes to 6. Little reminder there. Stick Ekitike and have Anderson come in if he doesn't play, or go for Watkins. Roll the transfer if you can. It's better to have it after the FA Cup games. Sat with my brother. He's stressing over starting Stash or Joachim Anderson. Probably Anderson for the DEFCON. Johnny Baker. Both Chelsea are going to score. Leeds aren't going to do much against Newcastle, so more chance of Joachim getting DEFCON. So I'd go with him over Stash. That being said, Stash, I'd love it if Stash wiped out that Newcastle clean sheet, but let's see how it does fare out. Bench 1 of Bowen, Garner or Timber. Garner out of those, you have to start Bowen at that price if you're playing him up front. Who we hear? Glenn Jacob with €5.99. Glenn Jacob, really do appreciate that, man. Well, sir, have triple Arsenal, Rice, Timber, Gabriel, and moving to Palmer early using wildcard. Any other tips? Had to bring in Thiago, but not keen. What's the rest of your team, Glenn? Send it in the chat there then as well. Really do appreciate that donation. But look, Rice, Timber, Gabriel is the ones I'd be looking for. from Arsenal. I know I'm on Saka. It's not ideal with him not on penalties, but Rice, Timber, Gabriel. Timber's a better shout than Raya, even though he's a few bit more of a, what is he, 0.2 or 0.3 more than Raya. But Rice, Timber, Gabriel, all good there. Moving to Palmer early, I'm assuming you're using the money that you would have had for Saka instead of Palmer. That's all gear. Any other tips? Had to bring in Thiago, but not keen. Make sure you have a route to get back. Bruno Fernandes also, Glenn. Palmer is fine then as well, but Enzo could be a shout. If you go Enzo, he seems, or it looks like he might flourish under this Rosenier system. If Rosenier is confirmed, maybe he was. I've been at work all day, but I don't think he's confirmed just yet. But it's pretty much done there. All good having Palmer. If you are on wildcard early, make sure you do have a route to Bruno Fernandes. Krupa Jr. on a wildcard. Someone's saying it there then as well. Krupa Jr. could be a nice shout for a third striker spot. He could play different weeks then as well. Once Semenyo is gone, Cliver's out, and Krupa Jr. is one I'd be looking towards on a wild card. Defence wise then as well, probably looking still towards the Everton lads. Probably Sanchez, at least one Chelsea defender, and you have your route to Palmer then as well. But let us know if that's alright. Send in the rest of your team if you can. But maybe you want a Newcastle defender in Hall for the next couple of weeks, Leeds and Wolves over the next 2 games. But apart from that, prioritise having a route back to Bruno Fernandes. That's all I'll say there, Glenn. Really do appreciate the $5.99. You're an absolute legend. Do I think O'Reilly will start? He will. There's not many City defenders that can still play. You have got Ruben Diaz and Vardy all out injured, so O'Reilly surely starts. Start Alderete or Mane from Wolves. Start the Wolves, man. He got a goal and assist, didn't he, at the weekend, so go with that. Who should I start at the back? Anderson or Virgil? Virgil for DEFCON. Out of those. Appreciate that, Glenn. Good man. Cooper in the chat. Evening era. Szoboszlai to Rice for -4 and then bench Wilson. Or bench Szoboszlai play Wilson. Bench Szoboszlai play Wilson. That's what I'll be saying there. Do you think we want him for Burnley? Stress that. Want him for Burnley on about Van Dijk. I can bench him this week if Ekitike doesn't play. I can just go with that. Would you move from Haaland to Watkins captain? Leave it on Haaland. Leave it on Haaland. Start Gay here. Senesi, Alexander. Much of a muchness really between the two. Probably just Senesi out of those. I can see Villa scoring. Good chance of both DEFCON from the two of them. Ryan in the chat here then as well. Ryan, of course, let me get to you now. What are we saying, Ryan? Do I watch any other FPL channels or just go with your own heart? Be Irish, just myself. If you're making content for FPL, you don't have time to watch any other content. It's that intense between me filming at a pitch, recording YouTube videos during the week, deadline streams. You don't have time to do anything else, only go with your own gut. So no, if you follow me on Instagram, you know the kind of stuff I post on there. I'm at a pitch every week filming, recording in front of a screen every week on YouTube videos, and then doing a deadline stream every week or even twice a week. So no, don't have time to watch anybody else but myself. I think with the FA Cup coming up, the 2 free transfers maybe needed, so I probably won't myself, but we'll probably end up on them anyways unless something happens. Ryan, what are we saying? Raya, Timber, Dorgu, O'Reilly, Cunha, Foden, Saka, Wilson, Rodgers, Haaland and Thiago. That's a very strong team roll there. If you can at all, Ryan, I still think I'd probably do Gabriel in for Timber. I'm probably going to do it myself. I want him anyway. Maybe I'll just make the transfer and forget about it. That's what I'm looking at that then as well. Hamid, what are we saying? Where are you, Hamid? Who to bench? Senesi, Rodgers, Gordon, Timber, Gabriel, Dorgu, Bowen. Senesi out of those. Rodgers, Gordon, Timber, Gabriel, Dorgu, Bowen can all do well this week, Hamid. There you go. Ryan, let me know if that's alright. And let me know anybody else. What are we saying here in the Patreon? Right, all good there. 1 mil short of this. Shirky and Gabin for Foden. Right. Foden to Shirky. Need to win this week. Right. Raya, Mukalele, Timber, Virgil, Senesi, Cunha, Wilson, Minta, Foden, Rodgers, Ekitike, Haaland and Mark Gee. 6.2 for a midfielder. Yeah, what's the latest on Minta? What was said on Minta? Let me just have a look at that. Right, just looking at the time, 3 minutes past 6. Keep the questions coming as well, and keep the subs coming if you don't mind. Then as well, we're going well since we started this stream, which is great to see. And appreciate all the likes on the stream. Also, we're nearly, what are we on? Sure to be past the 50 once I refresh this. 52. Great to see that. Keep them coming if you can. Right, what's the latest on Minta? Minta to Tavernier maybe could be a shout. Let's go with that. Minta. Tab in, can't even spell, in for Minta, maybe there. Then Timber to Gab. Oh my god, I can't even type with the amount of stuff going on here. Right. Start Kruby Jr. or Mukulele. I know his name is Mukiel. I've been calling him Mukulele all season, so I'm sticking with that. He's been going well for me. Probably Mukulele out of those. Bench Minta, you can roll with that team. Will Ekatike play? Thinking of bringing in Garner from Everton. Make sure you have cover on the bench. Make sure you've cover on the bench. Grand. What else are we saying here in the chat? Is Rodgers worth a -4? Probably not this week. Thereafter, yeah, probably not this week. Hi mate, had a shocking game week recently. Dropped 600k in the last 3 weeks. Any news on Ekatike? My bench is terrible with Potts, Anderson and Rodon. Is it worth going to Thiago? If you've no bench, and hope he plays. If you've no bench there, I probably would move him on. I've Van Dijk on my bench, so at least if Ekatike doesn't play, Van Dijk can come in. But there's every chance he could get a couple of minutes at the end if he doesn't start. But for now, I'm going to start Ekatike and Virgil on the bench. Not looking good. Any advice for this week? Gahey, Virgil, Timber, Anderson, Sabasai, Stash, Foden, Saka, Rodgers, Haaland, Thiago. No money in the bank. Roll. Just roll. Just roll. No money in the bank. Right, Tommy on the Patreon there. Sell Minta for Wilson, Reuter, Miley or who? Tavernier of Bournemouth. He's looking likely he'll be on penalties, so I'd go there. Bench one of Van Dijk, Chalobah, Gab or Virgil or Van de Ven. Virgil, Prob. Who are Spurs playing again? Any chance of Spurs getting a clean sheet? Bournemouth. Van de Ven. So Van de Ven. Virgil will get DEFCON. Right, 6 minutes past. Make sure that's all still lined up. Right, so let me just show you my own team quickly. For now, I'm not doing any transfers, but that's how we're shaping up for now. But I think a Virgil on the bench. I might just do the Gabriel transfer in, just get it done with. And Dorgu need Dorgu to do something is right this week. Someone's on about Dorgu then as well. Who should I play in the back? Minta's out, thinking to transfer to Garner. FPL thoughts on this lineup. Not much I can do without using a transfer. Roll there. Roll. That's all you can do. Roll. Next up there then. Bench Raul, Wilson or Raul. Bench Raul, Wilson or Raul. Raul on penalty, so maybe start Raul, but Wilson is my man. I'd say Wilson only because I have him, but Raul is on penalty, so maybe go with Raul. Bench in order there, yeah, go with all good there. A lot of messages here. FPL, please help with my team lineup. Is it okay? Also, I've one free transfer, 0 in the bank, but wouldn't take a -4. Nothing in the bank. Roll. You can't get Gab in one move. What else are we saying there? Took my first hit this year. Virgil van Dijk, kudos out for Thiago and Bruno Fernandes. I don't know if I would have brought in Bruno Fernandes this week. Next week, definitely. Can't afford a straight swap. Hincapie to Gabriel, 2 free transfers. Any moves or hold. Yeah, it's not ideal there now. Dorgu, Virgil, Hincapie. Probably just roll. If you can't do it in one. Right. Let's go back to the YouTube chat here. Alex Kelly, well Niall, I've got Alisson and Virgil van Dijk and 2 transfers. Would you go to Gabriel and Kelleher or Verbruggen or just roll there? Leave it off for next week. Timber to Gabriel seems a very sideways Keith, but Gabriel is pretty much like an attacker. Mike meant Bruno G. Fair enough, go with Bruno G. So, but Gabriel, he's racking up DEFCON where Timber hasn't been. Let me just get up Timber on screen here. I don't know when's the last time he's got DEFCON. Not ideal at all when you're coming up against Gabriel. These 2 points do add up, and I know I'm doing it for free. I'll want him for the rest of the season. And Gabriel if he's fit. Timber, fair enough, he got it last week. Apart from that, Villa about 5 game weeks ago has only got it twice all season. Yeah, twice all season. That's That's not ideal. So Timber isn't a man for Defcon. Is he a man for attacking returns? I got lucky that he got his attacking return against Aston Villa. I'm Gabriel is the man. That's all I'm going to say. But it's a bit of a sideways move, but it's a move I want to do in the long term. So maybe just get him in now and forget about that. Got no money in the bank. How is the team? Roll there. All good there. I seen your live. Your bench Van Dijk for Muke. Yes, I'm benching Ukulele for Van Dijk. Jean-Michel, if you're watching, did I not tell you that? Apologies if I didn't, but I'm benching Van Dijk. Is my bench in the correct order, do you think? Leave off that. Grand. On me and my team is Raya, Timber. All good. My team is Raya, Timber, Keane, Thiago, Bruno G, Saka, Foden, Anderson, Ekatike, Haaland, Thiago, Dubravka, Chalobah, Wilson and Van Heck. Sell Raya this week and buy Gabriel for Timber next week. If you've no money, leave it off. Don't bother doing it this week. As I said, I've exactly enough to go from Timber to Gabriel, so that's why I'm looking at there. I'd have Anderson ahead of Van Dijk personally. All good there. Right, good change or bench order. Mane, Heaven and Anderson on the bench. Dewsbury Hall, all good there. Right, that should be the majority of the Patreon ones got back. Fintenberg, have to get back to him, of course. Tempted to go Donnarumma to pick for this week with the 2 Man in City. I probably would. Right, all good there. Let's keep the questions coming on the YouTube. Raya out this week, Michael. I won't be doing Raya out, no. If I wanted Sanchez, let me have a look at there what I can do. Not even for a hit though. I won't be doing it for a hit. But if I rolled, could I do Sanchez? I could. If I roll this week, I can do Sanchez and Virgil. At least I Dubravka, muscle injury, Brentford, Crystal Palace. That's another thing I'm considering now. Damn it, shouldn't have done that. And then I could do Virgil to Gabriel. But then the thing about the thing about Virgil is I'll want Gabriel. Or the thing about Van Dijk is I'll want him for Burnley next week. Man United, Man City in the early kickoff, fair enough. Yeah, I'll want him for the Burnley game. Anyway, look, we're not in too bad a shape at least, but it's whether or not I just roll or keep Timber this week. Let's stress about it for another 10 minutes or so. Viv Gior, sub 7 million kudos replacement. Grealish, Enzo, Shirky, Barnes, Tavernier, Lena with Grealish with 2 home. Leave off Grealish. I brought him in. He was in a strip club, so leave off Grealish. Probably Shirky is your man there. Fran, who's Fran? Would you start Ekatike, Virgil or Alderete? I could also use one free transfer to get Enzo in for kudos and bench one more out of those 3. Who would you start, Ekatike, Virgil or Alderete? Probably just Ekatike and hope he starts. How's things, Niall man? MKTV, hope you're keeping well, man. Good to see you, long time no see. Start Ekatike or one of Gehi, Van de Ven or Raul. I'd start Raul over Ekatike. He's on penalties. Get Raul into the team. My team is Raya, Cash, Keane, Timber, Rice, Foden, Cunha, Wilson, Haaland, Bone, Waltermaid. Benches Dubravka, Minta, Chalobah and Anderson. 3 free transfers, 0.2 million in the bank. You can't get to Gabriel without getting rid of somebody else. Bone, Waltermaid. It's a uncertainty whether or not Waltermaid would start. Can you do Cash to somebody? Probably not. Chalobah, Anderson. To be honest, you could probably roll there. It's unfortunate you can't get to Gabriel. It's not ideal. Keep Ekatike and Van Dijk or replace. Keep them. You want them for Burnley. Keep them. Vivid, my team is Raya, Cat. Yeah, we did that already. And for me, Michael, what are you saying? Michael? Start Ekatike or one of Raul. Sorry, back to that. Sell Ekatike and Anderson for Thiago and Gordon for a -4. Not for a -4. No, not for a -4. Wouldn't do that. Raya out for me this week, Michael. I don't think so. Miley or Mukulele. Be Irish. Probably Mukulele just, but Miley is on set pieces. Mukulele, I think, just with the DEFCON. Who should I bench? Bowen, Dorgu, Rogers, Gordon, Timber, Gabriel, Tarkowski, Thiaw. Wow. Gordon, Rogers, Timber, Gabriel, Tarkowski, Thiaw. Probably you have to start Bowen over Dorgu, don't you? So maybe you're benching Dorgu. Not ideal, but that's you've a very strong team there. Could even bench boost maybe. maybe. Start one from Stash, Van de Ven or Mukulele out of those. Keep captain on Haaland. Yes. Keep it on Haaland. It's a risk on Ekitike, but you want for Burnley. Right, I'm repeating myself with all these messages. Thanks, pal. Best luck, Michael. Cheers to tune in, Michael. As always, good man. Start one from Stash, Van de Ven, Mukulele, Ekitike or Richards. First bench order, Ekitike. Start Ekitike if you can. Might move to Thiago. Nice fixtures unless Slot gets the chop. Can you bench him this week? Liverpool have Burnley next week. I'd still keep Virgil and bench if needed. Can you play him without Virgil, O'Reilly, Hincapie? Probably would. Okay, all good there. Grand. John Amara, good idea. Virgil could always pop up with a goal in a big game. Nice one, John. Good stuff. Andre, hello mate, thanks for the replies. Any suggestions for this week? End up with 60 last game, nice one. And Rice with 17 points last on the bench. That is not ideal at all. Dubravka, O'Reilly, Gabriel, Thiaw, Timber, Rogers, Foden, Rice, Cunha, Haaland, Ekitike. Roll. Move Wilson. Second sub. Grand. Scott at FPL with my team. Do you think I've got enough cover on the bench? Virgil is plenty. Grand. What are we saying there? Start Dorgu or Wilson? Probably Dorgu. It's very close, but I probably would do Dorgu over Wilson. But I'm starting the two. Start the two if you can. If not, Dorgu just over Wilson. He got a goal last week. Wilson either loves scoring or getting a yellow card. He did the both against Liverpool. If he gets a goal and a yellow card, I won't give out to him this week. Just don't get a yellow if you don't return Wilson, please and thanks. I'm tempted to go Ekitike out. What do you think? You've good cover. Roll. What's the poll saying anyway? 63% are saying Gabriel to Timber. Maybe I'll just do it as right. Yeah, no cover on the bench. If Ekitike doesn't play, should I take out Dewsbury Hall for Garner? 1.5 million and 4. Yeah, you need cover. All good there. Back to the YouTube here. Bench Virgil for Anderson. Start Virgil and he'll get some DEFCON over Anderson. I think both will concede. Good chance of Virgil getting DEFCON, but my team here, if Ekitike doesn't play, Virgil will be subbing in. Apart from that, I'm happy enough to play all my other players over Virgil there. No money, no transfers. Timber on the bench. Wow. I'd start Timber. Dodd there. I'd start Timber. Timber on the bench. Do not do that. No cover on the bench if Ekitike, all good there. Right, that's everyone replied back to for now. Cunha, Haaland captain. Haaland there, Scott, good man. And your good cover roll. Right, that's everyone sorted there. 16 minutes past. We're nearly on 100 viewers. Let's keep these questions coming if you can. Keep the likes coming on stream then as well. If you are watching and you haven't subscribed, go on down there, click subscribe on the channel. We're on the road to 9k subs. Your support is greatly appreciated so far this season, and we've got a few new subs since starting this stream, which is great to see. Bench 2, Mukulele, Anderson, Chalobah, Ekitike, Zetlin there. What are we saying? Bench 2, Mukulele, Anderson, Chalobah, Ekitike. Start Ekitike and Chalobah, Mukulele first sub. There you go. Dior 7k 34. Team is Raya, Dubravka, Alderete, Gordon, Anderson, Gabriel, Nunes, Cunha, Minta, Foden, Semenyo. Minta seems to be out. 0.1 million in the bank. Minta to Tavernier is what I'll be saying there. Marcus shouting at us. Hi mate, have Raya, Timber and Gabriel. Should I play all of them? Yes. Start all your Arsenal lads. Other defenders are Dubravka, Gehi, Anderson and Van de Ven. Szoboszlai on penalties or Wilson bench. Ben Szoboszlai. Wilson could do something in that Chelsea game. Chelsea have been leaky. City should have scored a couple of goals in that game. It was a side. Haaland didn't return. Cunha or Haaland captain. Haaland captain has to be Ekitike or Richards first bench order. Start Ekitike. If he doesn't play at all, you'll get your first sub. Excuse me. Team as it stands, free transfer but willing to take the first hit of the season. Henderson, Gabriel, Tarkowski, Mukulele, O'Reilly, Saka, Foden, Cunha, Shade, Haaland and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Thinking of going Thiago and Newcastle asset. Who are you taking out? The Gabriel, Tarkowski, Mukulele, O'Reilly, Saka. So that's 4-4-2. Your team is strong enough there. It is 4-4-2. Roll the transfer. Leave it off at that. Let me just message Ryan here in case they see me. Forgot replied on stream. But what were we saying? I'd roll. Right, all good, Ryan. Hey mate, play Anderson or Richards. Anderson out of those. Good chance of DEFCON for either, but I'd go with that. Anderson should have scored last week. Also, did you miss the message? Ramsha, what are we saying, Ramsha? Where's the message? I can't see it. Ramsha, Virgil to Thiago, what do you suggest? For free? No. Even for a hit, I wouldn't do it. Virgil has it. Just bench Virgil. If you need a defender this week, do it, but you'll want Virgil back for Burnley. That's what I'd be saying there. Ramsha, apologies for missing it there. If I want to transfer out Ekitike, who's the best replacement? Watkins or Thiago. Watkins first, Thiago second. That's what I'd be saying there, Tarek. Robert in the chat, Rob. Good man. Long time no see. Hope you're keeping well, Robert. Raya, Gabriel, Dorgu, Keane, O'Reilly, Cunha, Foden, Wilson, Wirtz, Bowen, Haaland, Ekitike. Bench one and captain a non-Haaland player. Cunha, if you're not captain Haaland, and bench one out of those, probably Ekitike. So Wirtz might be bench, but got it. Go for it there. Bro, keep Timber. Trust me. I want Gabriel though, so I think I'm going to make the move. Hey mate, play Anderson or Richards. Anderson for the DEFCON. Dr. James, lad, who would you bench? Semenyo, Gordon, Foden, Shirky, Rice, Thiago or Bowen? That's very tough. Semenyo's going to play his last game for Bournemouth, so he'll want to come out on a high. Gordon, Foden, Shirky, Rice, Thiago or Bowen. Let me double check who West Ham are playing. Are they playing tonight against Forest? If they are, you're playing Bowen. And then I'm going to have to look at something. Yeah, they are. So you have to play Bowen. Thiago, Rice, Shirky, Foden, Gordon. You have too many people there. If you have a chance of a bench boost, maybe play your bench boost if you can. Would you bring in Rodgers for Semenyo, James? I probably would. If it's for free, go with that move. Yeah, I'd be looking at that. Should I get in Rodgers for either Wilson or Anderson? One free transfer. If you know their issues, go for that. Start Mukulele or Tarkowski. Tarkowski, play Mukulele if you can. Foden captain. Nothing wrong with going Foden captain if you want to go there. Virgil to Gabriel for free. Yeah, I probably would do it. Raya to Kelleher. Otherwise, I'm starting Raya and Timber. Keep Raya. I want to keep Arsenal at home. I can't see Liverpool getting a goal, to be honest with you. So no, I'd play the two Arsenal defenders. Go with that. If you need money for the likes of upgrading, one of the defenders to Gabriel, probably would go for that. Let me have a look. So what we can do this week. What was said on Sanchez? Was Sanchez alright? Jorgensen didn't have much wrong with him against Man City, but he wasn't tested fully. I'd be selling Raya for Sanchez. Yeah, fair enough. If they do get the double game week. Sanchez, Chelsea. Let's have a quick look at this. Right, 9 minutes to go until the deadline, so maybe I'm going to lock in this transfer. Under Liam Rosner, Sanchez will take the bench for right. I see increasing interest in Sanchez at Chelsea's fixture like anyone else. Right, nothing was said in him. So Robert Sanchez and Cucurella will train today with Callum McFarlane. Hopeful, right? So Sanchez is back training. He's a bit of a risk whether he starts or not, though. Right, all good there. Right, I need to consider my transfers as well. If Raya could get a penalty save from a Szoboszlai, that'd be lovely. Right, back to the chat here. What are we saying? Hey, Era, start Ekitike, Anderson or Mukulele. Era, boo. Good stuff, Massim. Era, start Ekitike, Anderson or Mukulele. Ekitike, Mukulele first sub. Lord Without Rings. I've been watching The Hobbit the last couple of weeks. It's good viewing. So what are we saying? Gabriel, Cash, Thiago, Keane, Dorgu. Who to bench? Probably Cash out of those and start the rest of the lads there. Why not sell Ekitike? We want him for the Burnley game. That's why I'm not selling him. Right, do we just do this now? Get Gabriel in and admit that we made a mistake not getting him in. Just to have him, maybe. If I did that, then don't want Dorgu for the early kickoff. Definitely not against Arsenal. Crystal Palace and West Ham. Fair enough. We'll be playing Mukulele in those games. I'm just doing this transfer. I know it's not ideal. Or do I leave it off? 7 minutes to decide anyway. I was just about to hit go, and now I'm looking at what else I can do. What's the chat saying? I've 7 minutes to decide. Would you start Wilson or O'Reilly? Wilson. Start Wilson. Thoughts on bringing in Brooks of Bournemouth this week? Tavernier instead of Brooks. He's going to be on penalties. Let me have a look at how Gabriel. Maybe I'll just do it because I want Gabriel long term. I just want to see if Gabriel is going to rise, because once he does rise, I won't have enough for him for a straight swap for Timber. 80 likes in the chat is some going, and then as well, if you are watching and you haven't subscribed, go on down there, click subscribe on the channel. We're 25 subs off hitting 8.8k. If we get a couple of subs before this stream ends, that'll be very, very much appreciated. Right, I'm trying to see FPL price changes. I need to get this done now then as well, quickly. Gabriel is rising tonight. Right, he's in. Gabriel, that's it, done. He's rising tonight. Right, he's done. He's in. I'll check that there. He is rising. So let me just get this into my Patreon very quickly, and let's keep the chat going here. Bowen or Lewis Potter? Bowen. Get if you have Bowen, play him for the Forest game tonight. Right, all good there. What else are we saying? Hallen captain, Foden vice. Look, Rodgers or Gordon boss. Two of them if you can, for 1 week only. For 1 week only, Gordon this week. Let me just send in this. All good there. Grand, bang, bang, bang. Sound. Hallen captain, all good. Play 2 out of 5. O'Reilly, Wilson, Anderson, Raul. Wilson, O'Reilly and Raul. Take a punt on Raul being on penalties instead of Wilson. That's what you're going for there. Lineup okay. All good. All good there. Ekatika or Alderete. Ekatika then Alderete for a sub. I did this and roll. Looks good. Dodd over Heaven. I'd start Timber over Heaven. I'd start Timber over... Yeah, you need Arsenal cover. All good there. News on Paqueta. If not, should I start him over Mukiele? I haven't heard much on Paqueta, to be honest with you. Let's have a quick look. Start Virgil, Gahey or Tavernier? Tav. Just in from work, my transfers in are Sa and Barry. Don't ask. Sean, wow. I hope you haven't been in the pub all day. Jesus. Timber. Start Timber or Nunes? Timber out of those. Start Nunes if you can. You have to play the two of them at their price point. Help Ekatika to Walter Maid or Raya de Sanchez and roll one free transfer. Who's your first bench? Roll that. You don't need to make any transfers there. Only if you can afford Gabriel in one transfer. If you don't have him like I did there, go for it. Did you see Evan Ferguson goal tonight? No, I did not. I'll have a look at that after this. Right, 4 minutes to go until the deadline. What are we saying here? All good. Right, everyone's happy out in the Patreon. Good stuff. Oh yeah, I'm gonna say Gab to Tim in for Timber. In for Timber with Gab rising again tonight. Grand. Roll it, Alex. It's done. Start Wilson, Gabriel O'Reilly, Gabriel O'Reilly, Wilson in that order. Gabriel first. What's my bench? Virgil first sub. That's all you need to know. Would you play Hincapie or Miley? Have Raya in goal. Start Hincapie then as well. I think Liverpool will struggle this game. Anderson or Richards in the fence. Anderson and then Richards next sub. Anderson better chance to get some DEFCON. Wirtz or DCL. Start Dubravka over Allison. Probably for save points. Maybe go with Dubravka. Yeah. Can't move to Gabriel. 0.2 in the bank. Leave it off. So don't do it. Only do if you can. He'll be on penalties. Be on pens. Grand, all good there. What's my bench? Virgil first sub. Do I need to go anyone else for vice captain? Who will I go for vice? Do I leave it on Saka or do I leave it on Foden? Maybe just Foden in the off chance Haaland doesn't start, but he will start. He'll be fine. It's always good to have a good vice captain. If you have Cunha, leave it on Cunha. West Ham Instagram. Lewis Paqueta is his jersey's hung up there, so if you have Paqueta, probably start him. Cunha or Gordon with one free transfer. Don't get rid of the two of them. No, Cunha and Gordon, leave it in there. Sean Frayne, the Barry and Sad transfer, so I can get Gabriel, Palmer and Bruno the next 2 weeks. It does have some reason, I swear. Fair enough. That's as long as you have a route to those, that's all good there. Would you play Hincapie or Miley? Hincapie, just start him in case. Would you start Wilson or O'Reilly? Maybe O'Reilly just over Wilson. Gent, will Keith Andrews get manager of the year? He's going for it, saw doctor. Bench Virgil van Dijk, Wilson or Richards. Wilson, play him over Virgil, like myself here. Vice Rodgers for me. Need a big haul from Rodgers. Let's hope he does get a big haul. 2 minutes to go until the deadline. Make sure your teams are locked in. And while you're locking in your team, if you haven't done so already, what are you doing? Go down there, click subscribe on the channel. Drop a like on the stream then as well. I think last time I checked, we were nearly on 80 or so likes, so go down there, click like on stream. We've 75 people watching us, 85 likes. We're so close to 90 likes. So if you haven't done so already, click like on the stream and do click subscribe if you haven't done so. Cunha or Gordon, Greek, you have to start the two of them, Cunha or Gordon. I probably would bring in Gordon because you've got the Wolves fixture after this, but if you're only transferring in one, yeah, I'd go Gordon, but start the two of them. If you have Cunha and Gordon, you definitely start the two of them. Bench one of Reinders, Wilson or DCL. Bench one, probably Wilson. Start Reinders there. DCL has been looking solid in front of goals. Wilson Chalobah first bench slot. Wilson. Bench Richards or Virgil van Dijk. Bench Richards. Play Van Dijk over Richards because more chance of Van Dijk getting DEFCON there. I think it's again Virgil does get some DEFCON. Right, a minute to go until the deadline. That's all good there. Sent in there, Haaland captain, all good there. Ekatika starting, all good. Virgil, right, bench one of Reinders, Wilson or DCL. One out of those, Wilson. All the best, mate, Hamad, appreciate that. And that's going to be another deadline. Right, nearly on 90 likes, which is great to see. Locked, get those teams locked in, similar to Goss001. And that's it for another week. I'm actually going to New York on Thursday, so I'm looking forward to locking out. I made an agreement with my girlfriend to go to New York during the FA Cup break, so no FPL, no thinking about FPL for the next week. I'll actually be keeping an eye out on the Arsenal Liverpool game when we land in New York. But yeah, that's it. There's going to be no there's no game at the weekend because of the FA Cup. But we will be back to our normal schedule on the FPL YouTube. Just too much going on, or too many short deadlines when working a full-time job. I just couldn't work around it. But that's the team locked in there. 137k overall. Surely we get a green hour this week. We're not looking too bad. Just need Gordon and Rodgers and probably even a differential return from Dorgu to get us up the rank this week. But if we're inside the top 100k after this week, as long as I'm looking at a green hour this week, I'll be happy with that on a long flight to New York. Have I the ring ready? No. Lord of the Ring losses. Lord of the Ring was in the chat earlier. He's lost the ring for us. No, not just quite yet. But sure, look, we'll I don't know what to say to that. Apologies if the girlfriend is watching, but no ring just yet. William, appreciate tuning in, man. Great to see you. Right, I have to get ready now to hop into town here in Galway. No games tonight, unfortunately. Well, there is, but none. Consider my own FPL team with West Ham and Nottingham Forest. We're going to leave it there. So before you do hop off, drop a like on the stream if you haven't done so already. And if you are watching and you haven't subscribed, we're nearly on 90 likes and we're nearly on 8,780. So if before you drop off, click like on the stream and click subscribe before you do go then as well. Right, we're going to leave it there. So best of luck for the week. We're badly need a green arrow. Sean Frayne, best luck with those transfers as well, man. And yeah, we'll see. Enjoy the break first off. I'm going to be enjoying it. If you do follow me on Instagram, apologies for the New York spam coming your way. But yeah, that's it for the week. Hopefully we get a green hour this week, and hopefully whoever's watching gets a green hour too. Best of luck for the week. Thanks for watching. Erabu. We'll see you in the next video.